Hi everyone.
G'day.
And welcome to Parkside Live. I hope you've had a good day wherever you are. Here we have celebrated Father's Day.
Yeah.
And I think, did you have a good day today?
A lot of love from the family. I've been enjoying a home knitted beanie actually,
Yes,
which is quite
very
good.
Very
Yeah.
good. Probably just made it in for a bit of cooler weather. That's still to
yeah.
come. Yeah, so Brett has a cup of tea. If you want to grab a cup or a snack, hopefully you will enjoy our chat tonight on parenting confidence. It might not be what you think, but hopefully it will encourage you in your walk with Jesus and your exploration of faith.
And we want to acknowledge that as we celebrate, I think, Father's Day, that it is an ambiguous day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, today I enjoyed some chocolate and some presents and some good times. And I know that for a lot of us, that is Father's Day, that it is a day that we can celebrate and enjoy together. I recognise that for other people, it's a day of just pain and mourning something that either wasn't there when you hoped it was, or mourning something that just horribly did not work out the way that really you could expect it to. And then even for others, even as we celebrate some things, we may mourn. And so it is a bit of a mixed feeling. And so we just want to acknowledge that. And then we're going to move into our discussion. And when we talk about fathers, I don't know, can you give us a definition? You want to have a crack at a definition of a father?
Someone who, I don't want to... Someone who was part of bringing life into the world.
Oh, very good, very good. So really, when we're talking about fathers, it's just a male parent, nothing inspirational, nothing out of the ordinary. But then, as you said, a parent is someone responsible for bringing life into the world. And even as we talked at the start about people's thoughts on this day, for some of us, that's what a father was. Brought us into this world, and then I think sadly some fathers leave at that point. They go, I'm out. And yet I think that a father can have a role in bringing ongoing life into the world. And it's not just the physical birth, but we can contribute providing, we can contribute emotional support when we need it. And so as we do this, I think it's really important to be able to process the influence that parents and particularly fathers had on your life. And perhaps it's something that you can do. You can talk about with your friends and say, well, this is my recollections of my dad. And if you're watching this with a group of people, maybe this is a moment to just press pause and go, when I think about fathers, this is what comes to mind. Maybe you want to write something down, because I know that for me, my relationship with my father has changed a lot over the years. I enjoyed actually breakfast with my dad yesterday. I was able to celebrate. I mean, you've got your own relationship with your father, and I mean, that's changed over the years too, particularly as we age.
Well, that's the thing. Like, when they get old, like, you're used to, a parent doing lots for you, and then the roles change, and you have to work out what you can do for them and how you can navigate them maybe not being able to do as much for themselves as they once could.
And then even as we go to explore this, I know two people, and one of them is a father who is waiting for his child to come home. We're talking about an adult child, but in their relationship there hasn't seemed to be an incident. There's no disagreement. There's just been this slow drift, and the child has slowly moved away. And the father that I know is confused, not sure what to do, not sure what has happened, not sure what steps to take. And they're just simply hoping that somehow this relationship will reignite.
Yeah.
And then I know a child, an adult child, who recently made a statement about their relationship with their parents and saying, why is it that when the parent-child relationship is not good, most people expect the child, the adult child, to make the move, when sometimes it's the case that the adult child has actually made the move away because things weren't good.
Yep.
And so I look at these two things, these two people that I know, and I think both of those things can be true.
Yeah.
And your experience may lean more towards one or more towards the other. But what does it mean then to be someone who produces life in the uncertainty of the world? And we're going to draw some inspiration from an old story. And we're going to just explore this old story. And so, I don't know, can you give us the 30-second rundown of this old story that we find in Luke chapter 15, if you want to look it up?
Yes, this old story, there is a family. And so in the story, really, it's a father and two sons are kind of the main characters. One of the sons says to his dad, I want my inheritance now. And I just want to really live my life and do what I want. So his father actually says yes. He gets his inheritance, and then soon enough travels away and spends it all, lives his life, but then he runs out of money and he's like, oh my goodness, I have made a mistake here. I'm going to go home, but I don't expect my dad to treat me as a son. I'm just going to be one of his servants because his dad was a farmer, had lots of people working for him. I'll just become a farmhand and I'll do that. On his way home, not even at his house, and his dad sees him far off and runs off and welcomes him home, not even listening to the apology that the son has, and throws a party to say that, you know, his son is now at home. The other son isn't really happy because he feels that he's been doing good all the time and he's a party for the son, but, you know, the dad's like, you have what's mine, we're happy that your brother has come home. That's kind of the gist.
Yeah, and there is a line in this story, and you actually mentioned it. It's that when the son was a long way off, that the father recognised this son returning home a long way off. And I think that the line in this story matters. Yeah. And what does that communicate to you about the father?
Well, if the son was already a long way off and the father saw him, the father had to have been looking for starters. He wasn't just in a back paddock somewhere. He wasn't doing something else, but he was there waiting and watching. And so he probably had done that at some point in every day since the son left, going, when will he come home? So he, it shows that he wasn't preoccupied with other things. Yeah. His focus was, I'm waiting and watching for my son.
Not my favourite part of the story. I'm not good. I don't like waiting. And this is someone who is waiting. And I think as we go through our lives, there is lots of uncertainty. The father that I spoke about earlier is uncertain whether or not his adult child will actually return. He's unsure what caused it. And here, in this particular story, like the father's not even sure if the son will come back. And you may be involved in a relationship now that you're confronted with uncertainty. You're not sure about the future. You're not sure about what's going on. And the temptation, I think, when we're in moments like that, and perhaps even temptation is not a great word, but I think there can be a response where we simply shut the door on that relationship. I'm waiting, there's uncertainty out there, I'm just going to shut the door and I'm going to keep myself safe. And sometimes I do think that's necessary. If you've been controlled or hurt, sometimes it is necessary. And yet in the uncertainty of life and relationships, there is a power of love that is strong enough to hold a welcome out even among uncertainty. That as you're, I guess, parenting, like what do you want to bring forth in this relationship? What do you want to contribute? I am going to hold open a welcome. And so in the middle of the uncertainty, the one thing that the child can be certain of, the one thing that the other party in the relationship can be certain of, is that you are holding the door open. And I think that's the beautiful thing here, that the father is not standing there looking out perhaps, ready to give his son a rebuke or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's looking and welcoming. And I just want to encourage you, because I think as you're watching this, you may be a person who feels like they have gone off and perhaps an exploration. Perhaps it is just simply a departure from what was once home, and you're not sure how to come back. Perhaps it's just simply life, and you're not sure what's next. You're not sure what to do. And yet there is a welcome. There is a way home, and you might not see that in a physical relationship. But I want to tell you that there is a way home, that there is a way back. And what we see in this story is that when that welcome happens, that it's not conditional, like it's not like, but actually the son who returns, he's got this, I call it his shame speech. Yep. He's got this speech prepared saying, I'm sorry for what I've done. But what you see is that the father runs to him before he even gets a word out. He lets the speech go on, and then he just brings him all the way in. He brings him, in through the gate. He brings him in through the doors. He brings him into the house. He gives him new clothes. He gives him all these stuff. And I think as a parent, that there is something powerful that we can offer our children in this world. And that can be as children. It can be as adult offspring. To know that you are always welcome home. I mean, I got a personal experience of this where I was young, I was living away from home, and I was living a life that was probably at odds with some of my father's values at that time. And he gave me a call and he said, I want to meet up for breakfast. And so he actually drove to, probably even closer to 3 hours just to come and have breakfast with me. And we sat in some dodgy little fast food restaurant, and it was a misty morning, and I'm not sure how much he was aware. I'm still not to this day of what was going on in my life. All I remember is that in the conversation, I was desperately trying to avoid giving up detail about what I've been up to, and my answers were kind of monosyllabic and vague. Pretty rude, I guess, to someone who'd driven 3 hours to have a dodgy little breakfast. And there was this moment, and the conversation just kind of tapered off, and I was avoiding eye contact. But my father just paused and then looked at me and simply said, Brett, whatever you're doing, whoever you want to bring, you're always welcome home. And that was just a simple little sentence, but it cut right through my dodging. Yep. It cut right through my avoidance, and it's still that statement and the feeling that I had still resonates powerfully with me today, because we all need a place to belong. And I think as parents, that's what we want to offer our kids. We want to say, you are always welcome here. And when we go out looking for our kids, not to be looking with an attitude of correction or rebuke, those things are necessary, but to step out into this world with a loving welcome. You're welcome home. You're mine. And I think that's a powerful thing. And on this Day of Fathers, let's raise the bar. Let's be parents. Let's be, if you're watching this as a man, let's be a man who brings life. Just very simply, to add to the life of those you care about, to step into the lives of those who perhaps are confronted by uncertainty, and say, whatever is going on in your life, you are welcome here. And this is a picture, I think, of the love of God, that for each of us, as we confront the uncertainty of life, that he actually parents certainty, and he says, you can be confronted by whatever. I want you to know that you are always welcome here, that there is always love here. And that's where the journey begins. That's a fresh adventure. Someone's coming home is a new adventure. So I want to celebrate those who are bringing that loving welcome into this world, to your own kids, to your offspring. Bringing a loving welcome into the stranger. And for some of us, I think this is an opportunity to actually come home. To come home and experience this transcendent love that only the giver of life can actually give. To experience this loving welcome that you can only give by the good Father that we have. And for some of us, that coming home is about letting go of painful experiences in our lives and saying, God, I'm going to hope that you are this loving Father. I'm going to hope. I'm going to let this story shape how I see you. And because this story stops there, but we know that God actually steps into our world. Yeah. That God risks being not recognized, that God risks being rejection, that his love is not something that is forced upon us. And he simply says, I love you. And if that's something that you want to experience, then we're going to invite you right now on this day to step in. And perhaps you're choosing to return home to the transcendent Father, the giver of life. Perhaps you are deciding to be someone who holds that loving welcome out for someone else. But we're going to just pray this simple prayer that says, Jesus, I give you my life. Give me your life. That transcendent love, that warm, loving welcome. Give me your life. And so if that's a decision you're ready to make, then we're going to invite you right now just to pray that simple prayer. Jesus, I give you my life. Give me your life. And if you prayed that simple prayer, we would love to hear from you. Drop us a comment, send us a DM, and we'd love to support you in any way we can on the next step of your faith adventure. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.
Bye.